afternoon, good evening, and good morning, and welcome to another episode of Battle Nations Radio, guys. I'm going to be having a fun one today. We are going to be doing Battle Nations hot takes. We had a bunch submitted through Reddit, a bunch submitted on YouTube. You can do them in the chat. Trying to start a little bit earlier for our European friends. What's up, JTV VTJ? I'm going to start the hot takes discussion at about 5:30, 5:35. Try and give some time for some people to find their way in here. But we'll go ahead. Oh, and I'm trying to open up the wrong thing right now. We'll go ahead and get started with some Battle Nations gameplay. We'll talk about weekly pickups. We'll talk about weekly news, and we'll go through that. Let's get some music going. Let's. Oh yeah, it is AP's birthday. Happy birthday! Alrighty, guys. I'm having some camera issues here. JTV, can y'all see me? Update in 5 minutes. Yes, sir. Can y'all see me by any chance, or am I frozen? All right, I'm back. You all see me? Sorry about that. Oh, we got a little roll call here. We got JTV in here. We got Poaka. How you doing, man? I hope you're having a good day too. Clays, what's going on, man? I'm trying to help do some more European friendly time. So this is perfect. I'm glad you're able to make it in, at least for the first part. What's up? Hot Cakes Judge, how you doing, guys? If you haven't, make sure to go ahead and take a look. I posted a video recently. Not doing too great, but honestly, for those who've watched it, I really appreciate the love and support. It's a fun video. I'm gonna just do a series with all the bosses. So that's good, and let's go ahead and get the screen shared. All right, and if there's any mic issues or any sound quality issues, let me know about that. Let's go ahead and get one more thing in here. Alrighty. Alrighty, and boom, we are golden, guys. What are you leveling up? And you have any snow in the States? Yes, yeah, we just got our first snow. I live in the Southeast, so yeah, we just got our first snow last night. It was just a little dusting, but it was still pretty crazy. We don't normally get snow, so that was good to see. Guys, the main project right now, it's going to be vets and heaviers. So let's go take a look at that. Take a look at the count. We just got our 20th heavier today, so that's always good to see. Working on it. Ooh, Michigan. Michigan's a beautiful state, man. I'm going there this summer of 26 for a wedding, and I couldn't be more excited. I'm really just excited to see it, especially over the summer. But yeah, so heavier tank, almost have 1 bar into R6. Really excited about that. We're doing the vets as well and the cryo troopers. So the vets only have 2 still. It's almost has its first bar into, and then cryo troopers as well. But guys, this is a hot take stream, so if you have any Battle Nations hot takes you want to kind of discuss, make sure to drop them in the comments there, and we will definitely. Lock in, brother. You got this. It's going to take a while, but we did have the programming starting at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time tonight. So again, going to let people kind of trickle in here until that, and we'll get into the main show. Nothing too interesting on weekly pickups tonight. I am going to talk about some for my weekly pickups. we have the Arch Cannoneers, which look at that timing right there, guys. I did that just for y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and promote these up to R4 live on stream. Well, that should say free. Let's go ahead and exit out. Oh, don't want those. Those stink. Ah, and there we go. 25 HP, 5 offense, 5 power, and 5 dodge. We will take that on R4. Those will probably be at R4 for a while. Have I tried the Cryo Trooper against the Ancient Construct? No, I have not. I need to do that. My Ancient Construct spawns at about the worst time imaginable. It spawns at about 10:45 p.m. on a Saturday night, and I generally just rip the 2 square method with the TKs and toss in my 8th unit of whatever unit I'm trying to get SP for. So right now it is definitely going to be the heavier tank. I usually only take like 0 to 2 losses, so nothing too crazy there. We'll go ahead and toss some more of these in production. Really kind of getting everything leveled out. We did beat the Dreadnought yesterday. That was super fun. That's the video that's up on the channel right now. But we didn't get a clad. We do have a clad still, which is good. So working on doing that too. Trying to get 2,000 wimps. I'm hoping there's a boss strike soon, so I can kind of test that out. Oh, here we go. What's up, AP? I'm glad we're not overlapping anymore. This is kind of nice. Hot take: Secret Vaults could come back, though it would need to be completely. I can't talk. Though it would need it to completely be overhauled. What would that be? Legendary units could be legendary critters at 0.5%. 0.5%? Man, I can't even get a boss drop at 5%. For other ranges of units, it could also be mixed changes. See, I am actually with AP here. I don't think that I don't think that secret vaults are necessarily the worst thing in the world. I think they should be implemented in maybe a different way. I'd prefer a battle pass, to be perfectly frank. I know people feel certain types of ways about battle passes, but there should be a free-to-play version of that as well, like there are in games. Also, secret vaults need to cost Madrona points. Ooh, okay. I have 0 Madrona points, so yeah. JTV saying hot take: snipers need to hit past blocking units. VTJ, what about a promo sniper unit that stands on like a tower or something like that can bypass blocking units? I do like having the blocking units in the front. That's very important, almost for like the strategy of the game. That would be a little bit game breaking, or you would have to rethink how you do the games a little bit. The Madrona points can be obtained. Oh, okay, yeah. AP, you're cooking with that one. I would love to see Madrona points be implemented as weekly challenges, daily challenges, even monthly challenges. No guaranteed pity system. AP, you have a cloud, right? And Hauken said, make sure the vaults are guaranteed after a certain amount of tries. Oh, no. AP doesn't want the pity system. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure how I feel about a pity system. I'm neither here nor there. I am. Some would say I'm a centrist on the pity system. I don't really lean one way or the other. No clad sad. Yeah, I just got mine, so it is pretty fun. Will there be a boss fight that drops bows? Clays, that is a great question, and there will be. It's not going to be an easy boss fight, but it will be the Ancient Sentinel, which comes out at allegedly level 50. We will see. We'll see if that happens. Kind of, they're going to rework that, how they're going to go about that. But yeah, I do think that we are going to see. We'll see battles with that. I believe we see. Let's look this up actually, Clays. I don't want to be like kind of riffing this. So let's do a quick Google search here. Battle Nations, boss fights. I don't know how this changed. Okay, that's not the site I was looking for. My default browser has now changed to Yahoo, so that's been fun. Oh, Tom, man, no clad again for me either. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. At least it could spawn in 3 days. I mean, I do like that better than the construct where it's just on a week. I like being able to get it sooner. Boss Strike. No, it thinks I'm looking up Boss Strike. Battle Nations. Spider Wasp Queen. Because that was a fun one. I don't remember doing that one too much. That's at level 68. Okay. Alright, just so you guys can see what I'm seeing here. Yep. So 10 to 25 chem vials for the Spider Wasp Queen, a boss I am very excited for. Next, we're going to go ahead and flip over here to the Ancient Sentinel. I should be more specific. Guys, on a serious note, who's ready for the Battle Nations trading card game? I'm looking forward to that. Hoping to get a couple mega hollows. No, I'm not really into trading card games, but that would always be hilarious. All right, that's years away. Yeah. And so 10 to 25 chem vials as a chance for beating the Ancient Sentinel. What a behemoth, man! I am so excited to try taking that on a trading card game. LMAO. That's how you get Madrona points. You get Madrona points every time you scan your receipt for buying trading cards. Okay, I'll fuck with it. All right, let's look up Goliath Tank here. You guys, if you haven't, make sure to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Just trying to boost the channel a little bit here, trying to get to 500 subscribers. I was going to try and get to that before the end of the year, but hey, so be it. Probably not going to happen, but I do appreciate the love and support for those of y'all who are there. It's been a super fun ride. We're going to keep going, bringing you content every Tuesday. Got another hot take, just playing around here. Alright, Goliath Tank, Battle Nations Wiki, here we go. I'm excited to fight this too. Okay, again, it's the 10 to 25 vials for the Goliath Tank. And this is my, I'm not giving up, keep going. I love doing this, man. This is my... It's nice. I like doing it on Tuesdays now. I like getting it, out like earlier in the week. That's been fun. Work has been kicking my ass this week, which is always fun. VTJ was saying, hot take, we should have Mr. Perface versus Rat Spawn 4 to 6 days and have some teeth drop. Yeah, I'm all for. I love the Elder. Is it the Elder Sandworms or the specialty Sandworm that gives you three teeth? That's always good. And the lieutenants are a really fun fight, so I do enjoy seeing those spawn. Man, the Phalanx Tank is my favorite unit from the old game. I love this one. Such a cool unit, such a great looking one. Shmebo, man, you can finally make one. This is a sight to see. We usually get Shmebo here on Replay Gang. And let me get something pulled up real quick. Want to make sure I'm tracking this all righty and dandy. My phone never seems to work, but that's okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Alrighty, 1 second here, y'all. Alrighty, this should work. Almost. Sorry guys, I know this is really exhilarating content right now. I promise I'm almost there. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Tuesday's a good day for me. Nice to finally be here live. Yeah, it's good to have you live. It's fun. I like interacting with the community this way. Phalanx Tank is a Phalanx Tank is a B10 bore on land as a boss drop. Having 5 of those guys melts the boss strikes. Yeah, if I had 5 of those, I'd be pretty happy. But guys, a main event tonight. We are going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about some Battle Nations hot takes. Brute any good for the Goliath Tank? We'll have to test it out. And so let's go ahead and get into that. Bunch of lookups there. We're back over here. Alrighty. Now, guys, I did post this on Reddit a little bit ago. about 4 days ago, asking for crowd submissions for a Battle Nations hot take video, and I thought we could kind of discuss it here. I want everyone to kind of rank their best hot takes or their spiciest takes, or what's just a good take. I'm going to be ranking these on if they're actually hot takes or if they're just good takes. That's definitely going to be something to see here. But let's go ahead and get started here. And guys, remember, never miss a beat with open ear audio. You ain't seen nothing yet. A promotion by Ray-Ban Meta. Hashtag not sponsored. No. But going on to our first submission here. So guys, let's get into it and let's change the music here. Let's get something that's been fun. All right, that's fun. All right, a little fun music here. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into it, and let's add the chat to the stage. I like everyone being able to see. That's a nice little function there. All right, and this is and let me know if the sound is okay. But this is the first submission here by this is Croco Croc. All right, that's one right there. And he's saying, my hot take, Perkins needs to grow a bit more as a character rather than being the butt monkey all the time. Alrighty, he says, it could be, for example, be funny that Perkins saves the 95th from a threat, but because nothing happened, Morgan treats it as a dream Perkins had. Until later, the group Perkins defeated sees him as and run from the red-headed terror, and Morgan maybe starts to realize that he has him wrong. Or he hasn't drank enough to think it was a hallucination. He still gets to be the butt monkey, but in a more subtle way that doesn't diminish him. It's interesting. So, a little bit of spoiler alerts for the game from Adrian Reg. So, if it's a spoiler, I'm going to give you a chance to mute here. But he says, spoiler alert. Perkins had grown as a character by the end of the storyline Z2 was working on. Before the game was shut down, the story was cut on a cliffhanger. It was cut on a cliffhanger. By level 70, Perkins had behaved and acted like an officer and is openly recognized for it. You could even see the change in his in-level attack animations. That was really cool to see. One can imagine what Z2 had planned for Perkins' character development, but it has been pretty clear he was getting a serious tone change treatment. All right, we got a bunch of replies here. That's on Morgan rather than Perkins overall now. Yep. And what else we got here? He is saying that's on Morgan's Perkins. Yeah, but it's more familiar territory for Morgan as the story progresses. We need to a point where Morgan finally realizes it, even if he does think it's down to not enough drink. All right, even more we're going on here. We got Howlin' Fire saying the problem is not Perkins growing; it's the fact he is growing and actually undergoes the most growth. It's Morgan treating Perkins like Meg for cheap laughs is the issue. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, but that's a hot take. Morgan needs to acknowledge it. Okay, they're going on. All right. In the wiki, if you go to missions, you actually see a couple missions where Perkins grows quite a bit, and even Morgan recognizes it. All right, that's a little bit of spoiler alert. So we're gonna go back. So what does everyone think? Does Perkins need a little bit more recognition? Are there any more characters you'd like to see more of? Should Perkins stay quote unquote the butt monkey? Kind of trying to gauge what everyone's thinking about here. Brood, any good for Goliath? Thanks. So I have that up on the screen there. But yeah. I think this is good. I always say this. One of my favorite parts about Battle Nations is the campaign. It's always been the storyline. It's a storyline that holds tried and true even to this day. I don't know, and maybe this is just my nostalgia glasses on here, so I'm trying to speak, objectively, but this is obviously rather subjective. When Battle Nations came out in 2011, it was kind of the golden era for campaigns in gaming across, even across mobile, across console games, PC games. Just felt like there was a lot of good writing in these games, and writing in games has gone downhill over the years. I'm really excited to see this campaign re-implemented in full and see where Madrona takes it. I know some of the guys and gals on the Madrona team behind the writing, in their background, so I'm really excited to see what they come up with. We are in very good hands. I know they have some people with some history backgrounds in writing as well, so it's cool having that historical context. I think people would say and argue that that the campaign and Battle Nations as a whole has some sort of like retro punks, like I don't know what the word is exactly for it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It has some sort of like World War I, World War II esque, style units with some mech punk almost to it. I don't know how to say it exactly. I hope y'all can understand what I'm saying here. VTJ was saying it would be nice to see him grow. Maybe at level 100, we send him off and lead a base in the Sovereign Navy land, and that will become our second base to grow and manage. Okay, VTJ, I'm gonna kind of go off of what you just said here. Would you like to see a second base eventually in Battle Nations? Like maybe after we max out our first base, you want to see a little outpost action? It's kind of what I'm asking for. That's something that y'all would be interested in. I'm curious. All right, Halkin was saying, can't forget those nanopod generator videos back in 2011. The Tapjoy, yes, the Tapjoy was very popular, and that was really cool. I like that a lot. Let me go real quick here. All right, 1 second, guys. That's great. My phone has completely crashed. I'm trying to multitask here, so let's go ahead with that. I know we've been talking about that. Let's go on to the second hot take here. Alrighty, guys, bear with me. All over the place today. There we go. Alrighty, perfect. Alrighty, the second hot take. Not really a take. But anyone notice it's daytime? It's like daytime 24/7, no light time at all, like ever. I think that would be a really fun feature to have in the game, just like cycling. It's just day, if it's night, maybe some snow for Christmas. Almost definitely not going to happen this year. But that'd be something very cool to see down the road, and I would really encourage that. I think that'd be really cool for the game. BTJ was saying kind of gives the devs a chance to expand and experiment. Yeah, I think so. Like I'm excited to see where the devs take this game. Alrighty, and this is submitted by Cadran Ball. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the submission here. He is saying, the whole Navy update was badly executed. From a story perspective, having this massive naval empire just appear from nowhere that nobody in the empire knew existed feels lazy. And the whole conflict is too disjointed from the rest of the setting. The combat is also a little less engaging since a lot of attacks ignore blocking from the front, where formation doesn't matter. Battleship spam should not be the only viable formation. Interesting. So, just a little Battle Nations history lesson for those who, maybe aren't familiar. Navy was implemented, I believe, in the 4.5 patch update back in the day, so towards the end of the game's life. It was this completely separate thing. People were very excited about it. It came out well after Air Force, but it kind of came in all at once, and I think they did a good job. I understand the gripes with the story of like, whoa, this came out of nowhere. But I think with the way that it's implemented in it today, kind of makes it feel like more congruent with the actual storyline. So I like that it's there. You can start at level 1 and the Navy's already there, which is great. But yeah, I can understand that complaint. I do agree that Navy wasn't all the way fleshed out, and obviously the devs haven't made any changes to Navies thus far. So as of right now, yeah, it is sort of still the same deal. But with that being said, Navy is a good it's a good base kind of a good base of operations. But they'll expand on it, and I'm really excited to see what they do with Navy. I understand, it'd be nice to get different types of formations out there. Everyone feels like they're spamming M10s or R1s or clads if you got them. So completely understand that. And then, all right, going back to our chat here, do you guys think they took inspiration from the Atlantis Disney movie when they designed the Trooper, Mortar Team, Gunner, and so on? Interesting. Clace, I think I know in the wiki it says that I think the Troopers are developed. Give me good World War II vibes here. I think it's noted in the wiki that the Trooper is supposed to be wielding what is an M1 Garand. For those unfamiliar, that is the semi-automatic American service rifle from World War II. Cool firearm. But yeah, I think that's where they took inspiration. They definitely took inspiration from multiple different things. You get the helmets all look pretty. The helmets do. I would be curious where they took inspiration on the helmets. I think just your basic helmet, but Google the Troopers from Atlantis movie. It just, guys, for reference in here, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I could see what you mean by that. Yeah, I think you're pretty spot on here. That looks, I don't know if they took inspiration, but I see it. Yeah, you're definitely onto something there. And Judge says, back, my hot take was in your community post on YouTube. Yes, we're gonna get there. I want to get through the Reddit ones first, and then we're gonna go to we're gonna go take a look at the ones on YouTube as well. We're gonna have a lot of hot takes tonight. Should be a fun night. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a deep lore find there, Clace. Good snag on that one. All right, but going back to here is comments about the Navy. I just want to follow up on those. My issue is when I can only use five ships, but I have to fight 12 Reef Bandits in 2 waves, and their speedboats can one-hit crit and ship break, leaving an M10 with 20 health. Yeah, that is a frustrating part of naval gameplay. Those encounters are such BS, makes you wonder how the Reef Bandits were forced off their homes by the Sovereign Navy, since they clearly have more firepower. That's a pretty good analysis there. And we have Viewpools saying, oh, this is a long one here. Yeah, like what the hell are torpedoes indirect? They should be precise at best, the exception being the Pelican. That makes sense. Story-wise, it would make more sense for it to be post-Gantus, as that would explain why no one's trying to stop them, as well as the fact that Bar's skulls don't become common until after. I wouldn't be surprised if it was designed for post-Gantus, but got moved to level 25 so they could get more people into naval earlier by the M10. That makes sense. Also, the fact that we go from gunboat to destroyer to battleship show that they wanted to skip battleships because they knew that people would want to buy them. They decided that this would be a big ticket item and then half-assed everything else. The fact that boats can take poison fire damage, but they can never be, they never created a Zippo chem boat is atrocious. There's so much more they could have added. Gunboats to corvettes, to frigates, to destroyers, to cruisers, to battleships. They could have added a lot more gunboat type units, basically just to create a ship equivalent to a ground unit, flame trooper, Zippo, gun truck, river monitor, saboteur, navy trooper. There's already one that exists, but you get my point. Literally just copy and paste any tank turret onto a boat or something the Soviet Union did all the time in World War II. Instead, we have an indirect slugfest where we try and line up weird firing patterns and hit as many ships as possible and pray that torpedoes don't breach. When someone says, essentially, they just ran out of time. It's unfortunate, but at least there's a lot of room for development. Yeah, I think that's a good way to end that thought, is there is a lot of room for development. That one came out towards the end there. So again, they're working on it. They're getting going there. But yeah, something they'll have to develop in the future. But guys, let's go take a look here at the comments. VTJ, it sounds like you were cooking. You say, I would like to see an oil-based unit be added to Navy. Could be a defense unit that they can attack, like the Middle East use as rigs as military sea defenses. Ooh, That's a good take. I like that. So like an upgrade to the buoy almost. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. JTV, now you're cooking. I'm an idea guy. Mad lad indeed. BTJ, have you ever submitted any suggestions to the Battle Nations Discord? Just curious about that. Just taking a look here, guys. Give me 1 second. Alrighty. Time for. Alright, moving on to the next one here. Ladies and gents, go ahead. And as much as I loved it in its former... Oh, we got a lot here. As much as I loved it in its former glory, Legendary Sandworm getting nerfed before it returns to the game is necessary. It trivialized the game. You know something is overpowered, if not outright broken, if a 3-unit limit still cannot keep such a powerful unit in check. I think this has been discussed a lot. I'm not sure this necessarily falls under the category of hot take or more so good take. I think this will need a lot of testing. I know this is definitely being tested. But yeah, we'll see how this gets re-implemented. I would bet a lot of money that all the legendary critters will come back. But I'm very curious to see how they are implemented. So I'm waiting to see how that happens. But said good take. Interested to see how this plays out in the future. And we have Howling Fire with a not so maybe it is a hot take. Lots of downvotes here. Nerf it in PvP, but don't nerf it in single player campaign. We would all definitely need it powerful for the Goliath tank, Ancient Sentinel, etc. Okay, so people do not want it like that for the single player. It sounds like it's specifically for bosses. But people are not excited about if you're gonna nerf it, just do it across the board. I gotta agree with that. If you're gonna nerf something, it can't just be for PvP. Kind of has to be all across the board, except maybe a unit limit placement, maybe. But yeah, I just you know, if you're gonna do it, do it. Don't half-ass it. Alrighty, and VTJ was saying one about being able to upgrade Spec Ops to not be able to add ranks to earlier units. VTJ, could you expand on that a little bit? I think I know where you're going for this, but I don't want to mischaracterize where you're going with this. Alrighty, and back to it here. Yeah, V2J, if you could expand on that. And Judge, past R6, so you want like R7, R8, R9, R10, all that good jazz. That'd be good. I always like more buildings I'm able to upgrade, the better. The building I'm most looking forward to is still the Suburban House. I cannot wait to get those. I cannot wait to get Prestige. It's gonna be so much fun. But we do have a lot of good stuff in the game right now. Plenty to keep us occupied. I will say that. Alrighty, and Judge is saying spamming 6 or 7 vets is too good. I think a recap on all units would be good, but then again, I could see that making things harder in PvE. Judge, I hear you on the vets. I could be sold on that. What I wouldn't be sold on is the idea of 3 cap for everything. Like, let's say there's somebody who's a free-to-play player, right? Or you know, only has like 1 mega tank, or no mega tanks or something. Would they be forced to spam 3 heaviers and then deal with the rest? Versus somebody who has megas and heaviers could spam 3 heaviers or 3 megas and 2 heaviers and have that full front line kind of fleshed out there. You know, that wouldn't be really fair to that wouldn't really be fair to people you know, who aren't able to get the megas. You'd at least want everyone to have that blocking ability in the front, and heaviers really are the best free-to-play tank in the game right now. Although if you have nanos, I would suggest you at least get 1 mega tank. They're kind of like the trophy unit for the game, so to speak. But yeah, all right, and here comes Schmebo with a spicy hot one. This might be a hot take, but one I've discussed a lot. The Wild Boar Plane or Boar 2 are the only units the community would be happy with at tier 10. Shmebo, do you mean for the first boss strike, or do you mean for all the boss strikes? Curious about that. Get back to me on that, and we're going to switch over to Judge here, who is saying, fair points. I also think weaker stuff should be buffed instead of broken things being nerfed. Interesting. I could get on board for that, Judge. Now, it depends. I think it's going to have to be later unit game stuff. I don't think the game's really broken at all at level 49. I know that might spark some criticism, but the game as it is right now, I think is completely balanced. And I don't really see a lot of issues other than you know, vets are pretty extreme right now, guys. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to do a quick little self promo. You know, I like to do it. Just going to bump the channel real quick and be in Discord. Alrighty. And back to it here, y'all. Just to upgrade military building like Spec Ops, Armor Shop, and it would unlock the ability to rank up groups of units past R6 to make weaker units a chance to add a little more power / health. I think at level 39 it's going to be a little bit too little, too late for some. Or level 49 is going to be too little, too late for some units like the Trooper or like, you know, the Flame Trooper or anything like that. It's gonna be a little bit out of it. Give me 1 sec, I gotta sneeze, y'all. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But yeah, Master Bidoof, what's going on, man? I like your profile picture. That's cool. Welcome to the channel. I don't know if I've seen you around here before, so thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We're just going over some Battle Nation's hot takes, but yeah, I mean, like, I could see them doing that VTJ, especially past level 70. I think they're a little bit confined for where they're at on level 7. I just don't see them making too many changes up to level 70 other than some unit balancing for late game units, but I would love to see that implementation for like units at level 75. You need to rank up the Armor Shop, the Spec Ops Center, even the Chem Lab, or anything along those lines. I think that'd be a ton of fun. Shmebo out here saying for the first one specifically, we're at such a point where they need a unit to tip the scales against late game bosses, and they're gatekeeping promos. I don't know if I'd say they're gatekeeping promos, but you know, understandable. Understandable. I could see how you feel that way. I think they're trying to make sure they're doing it the right way. I think they want to, because once they put a unit out into the game, it's going to be a lot harder to nerf it. So they're essentially trying to make sure everything's you know picture perfect before being implemented. And Clace is saying they should add more units like Fish Hatchery, maybe a Sea Vom, Turtles, Spearfish, Sharks. Clace, I completely agree with you. I think the Navy needs a bunch more units. I think it's something that got it added in towards the end of the old game's life. So I'm really excited to see what they do with Navy. I would bet good money that we are going to see some sort of implementation with that. Master Bidoof, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate it. And that like button greatly helps the channel. Bless you, brother. You're excused. Shmebo said they more like they overestimate most promos, and we won't be getting them soon. But free to play, especially, is going to need Boris to beat the AS. Yeah, they should add an attack Exotol. I'm not sure what that is. Any player that can't get tier 10 is probably a new player, and they might have promos by the time they're ready. Interesting. Yeah, I do see that. You know, it is a bit of a grind to get to level 49. Boca is saying they could just there will be a meta and people will cry when they nerf it. Other people will stop crying about it and play. Yeah, Halkin, are you in that VC, or do you want me to join a different VC, Halkin? Just let me know. Now, while you get back to me on that, let's go to another hot takes submitted from Reddit. This one is from Summer to Sleep. Farming is a little tedious and animations are slow. Would like a speed up animations option or a way to get more SP. somebody said this, slow animations make farming way worse than it should be. Yeah, it's awkward AF to pick units and kill them based on what has the most efficient animations. Farming probably shouldn't be made too fast, but something like a fast DOT animation and maybe a sped up mode for anything over half a second would be nice. Got it. One sec, Halkin. Let me get you set up here. All right, Halkin, sent your way. Alrighty. A disable animations option like Pokemon would be incredible, but I don't think that's a hot take. There's might be an even hotter take as an addition, but I think it should be like 2 times for default. Maybe a Patreon supporters get ×3 or something in addition to normal benefits. Or even the ×2 button Patreon bonus too. Yes, I'm a Madrona shill, but I also think that more people supporting the devs, the quicker we can see them bringing the game back to its full glory and eventually onto expanding. Yeah, I mean, so if I were to speed up farming, my takes would be, which has been talked about before, is a saved formations button. So you could just like click on I want this formation and it pastes immediately. You don't have to go select troops. That would help. The ×2 button, I would be curious to see how they implement it. I'm not, quite there, but if it's a Patreon thing, I'm not against it. Maybe that makes me sound like a Madrona shill as well. Yeah, maybe speeding up some of the animations. I don't think it needs to be rushed too much. I think it's fine. I mean, R6 is just going to be a grind. That's how it is. And guys, trust me, during boss strike, you don't have a unit at R6 and you're using it a lot. It's going to get a lot of SP. So just be ready for that. Alrighty, Schmabo is saying, how can I don't know if you got the invite. I sent it your way though. And guys, make sure to go subscribe to Halkin too. Halkin, if you would go ahead and paste your YouTube link, that would be super helpful. Guys, let's go show them some love. This also applies to YouTube creators. Boss drops should not be included in free-to-play formations. I wasn't trying to do that with my clad thing. I was trying to give an overview at first. That's how you do it. I've done it before. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not saying it's great. But yeah, I agree with you. That's a bit of a cop-out, even if technically correct. Yeah. And Judge is saying, a fast forward in PvE battles would be useful. I know it was something that was praised a lot in the most recent remaster of Plants vs. Zombies. Yeah, not something I've checked out, but would be curious about that. All right. Nice. Alvin, let me know if you're having any issues there, and we'll make sure you get all tuned in here. Alrighty. There we go. Schmabo saying, Hobby, did you did the right thing by giving an alternative at least, but if I see a melee frag in a free-to-play formation, I will immediately click off the video. Kind of feel like I need to have a melee frag in all my videos now. I can't get one, but yeah. All right. Halkin. Let me get you figured out here. And guys, getting this figured out with Halkin. Halkin, I didn't mean to block you. I sent you a little, sent you an invite there. Let me know if that's working. And guys, I'm sure I will have some sound difficulties, so bear with me here. Blocked. Schmabo is speaking truths. Yeah, I hear that. Halkin, let me know when that is working. Halkin, can you hear me?
Yes, Halby, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you. Chat, can you all hear Halkin? Let me know. Yay or nay in the chat.
Hello, chat. Can everyone hear me?
Like, I'm not even going to lie. Even if I have the fragments of the formation, it's just Fortes. Maybe I'll make a video that says free to play, but but with Frag.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yeah, everyone
How's
can hear
everybody doing
ya.
today?
Can you see the chat still?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, guys. Well, guys, I am really. This was kind of a surprise, and I'm really excited to have Halkin. He is Halkin. He's an up. He's when did you start your YouTube channel for Battle Nation?
I started like a couple months ago. I'm barely
Okay.
entering like my first month into getting into content because back in the OG days, I used to make content, but not
Okay.
not anymore. You know, I took a long break after personal stuff came up. You know, growing up, so getting back into the groove of things, as I say.
That's awesome, guys. I'm gonna do something for Halkin here real quick and just drop his YouTube link in the channel.
You're too nice, Hoppy. You're too nice, brother.
But we gotta. I mean, I'm gonna do this from a. I'm doing this also because I love Halkin, but also, the more content creators, the better for Battle Nations, because I think we can all agree here that we would like to. We would like to see the game grow, and the more that there is, the better. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this link, guys. He's at 25 subscribers. Let's see if we can get him to 30 subscribers tonight. Let's see if we can make that happen for Halkin. I'd love to see that, guys. Go ahead and click on that link. That'll take you to his channel. Just hit him with sub and check out his videos and make sure to leave a like. That'd be super cool. But Halkin, let's get into some hot takes here. We just went over animations, but I'm gonna read out the next Reddit one here. And this is allegedly a super hot take, so let's hear it. Every unit should get accuracy penalties as range increases like tanks do. It's not really a problem in the game's current state, but we saw in the OG release that basically every powerful unit got indirect attacks. Tanks were still kind of important, but when everything good can hit everything on the board regardless of blocking with no penalties, there's a problem. Ideally, accuracy should decrease with each additional range when you decide to shoot, starting from the first range allowed in the attacks. So, tanks will lose some accuracy at range 2 and even more at range 3. Artillery with a range of 2 to 4 has full accuracy at range 2 and drops off at 3 and 4 to not completely kill the viability. That makes indirect attacks still very strong, but it's more of a gamble to try sniping an enemy in the back row from your own back row. Halkin, what are your thoughts on that one?
Actually, that's a pretty interesting take because that would be nice to see because basically, like your main focus of your tank. Let's say, for example, you put supers and heaviers. Heaviers, the first row that they're in, they should have that increased range. Second should be like, okay, medium. They still have good range, but still have the 10 to miss. Third is like, okay, you're gonna kind of miss your shots because they're way farther in the back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think I like this a lot. I think this is actually really cool. I do agree.
Makes you strategize where you're gonna put things. Basically, you have to be strategic where you're gonna put things.
I like how this game it gets a little more like chess-like almost. Maybe that's a little too nerdy. But
no, you're good. You're good.
But I do agree with Judge. I think there are some units that should be immune to the accuracy fall off, like snipers. Like the snipers don't need a nerf. I think we can all agree to that. And artillery is something, maybe 3 is their sweet spot, and maybe if they're too close, artillery is a little bit weaker. If they're too far away, the artillery is a little weaker. Like maybe their sweet spot is a little bit further back, and they have trouble hitting the front row units. I don't know, just kind of throwing out some ideas that are coming to mind here. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly,
like, would you want it to encompass all? Would you want it to encompass all the units, or would you want it to do most units, but there's some specific ones that don't?
It's mostly, it varies. It should vary. Because, for example, let's just say, hey, if they're able to, for example, be able to hit everything, or, what is it? I'm trying to word it.
Where they don't have a penalty.
Yes. Thank you, Albie.
Yep. Yeah. Alrighty, guys, and guys, I appreciate everyone kind of trickling in here. It's getting a little packed in the Hobby Hangout and the Battle Nations radio, so this is fun to see. But Shmebo, as we know and love Shmebo, low-key TF2 units need a unit limit. Don't nerf them directly, but make them less spammable. So, this hot takes episode is kind of turning into let's just nerf every unit. No, I'm just joking. I hear you, Shmebo. But my counter would be is that when we implemented, or when TF2 units were implemented, they needed to level up with the game all the way through level 70. That's why they go to R9. And at R9, they just weren't competitive. I mean, they were good, but they weren't game breaking or anything like that against the when you're playing at level 70, they weren't groundbreaking or anything like that. So I'm not sure I'm not sure about that. I kind of want to see. I'm of the personal opinion. Let's get through let's stay at the level cap of level 49. Let's get through this first boss strike and let's see how things shape out. What do you think about that?
I'm actually agree with you on that. I want to see first. We should see how everybody performs this boss strike, and then see what units were mostly used, and then we go from there. Because supposedly the devs are gonna rework all units. Let's just say, and then for example, there are gonna be some units that are gonna be more viable than some others. You know, they're gonna be interchangeable. Basically, you're gonna be able to chase some certain units in and out.
Yeah. All right, and I'm entirely on board. I trust the Hangout guy. We can wait and see. Yeah, well, I'm sure the first boss strike's gonna go over. Nobody in the community is going to complain whatsoever about the first boss strike. I just don't see it. I'm joking. No, I love you guys. It's been fun. Here is the hot take of the night. Silva said, "Buff the sandworm." I'm assuming you mean the baby sandworm, right? So that one. Yeah, I don't know if that's the one he's talking about. Clay said, "When is the next update before the last of November?" So I don't know, Clay. I don't have any information that y'all don't. But my guess is that I really am hoping that there's going to be an update this Friday. I did a radio 2 weeks ago where I talked about my theoretical roadmap for the game, or what I think might happen through March 1st. And my prediction is that we'll get a guild update on November 14th, which is this Friday. So we'll wait and see. I don't know if it's going to be here nor there. We'll see what happens with that. No, the bigger one. Yes, Silva, I'm with you. We're going to start a campaign to buff the legendary sandworm, and it will ignore all the chirping, man. We're gonna buff the legendary sandworm. We're gonna do it. First boss strike back in the day had to be extended because of complaints. It happens. All right, sorry, Halkin. I kind of went on a rant there.
No, you're good. You're good, brother.
But yeah, so we're going off to Fearlata118, a Reddit submission. They're saying, "I think the TF2 crossover unit should be changed somehow to not make most of the units they face in the early to mid game obsolete. I say this as someone who loves TF2 characters and the inclusion of battle nations." Okay. I think the best way to do it is just really buff the lower tier units, especially their higher ranks. Maybe shift the TF2 storyline start to 5 or 10 levels too. I want the RPG and Bazooka Trooper to be good too. They're fun. Who doesn't like rockets? Who doesn't like rockets? That's a great analysis there. Might actually help to make the dang factory that produces them not cost nanopods for starters. Especially since everything in the factory costs nanos too. It's just easily the worst purchase option in the game. Yeah, I'm eventually gonna get the damn rocket factory or whatever the nano production building is. Do you have that yet? Do you not have that yet? How are you looking on that? Do you know the mission?
I pretty much.
Yeah.
I bought the one with the rocket. Yeah, I bought that one.
I need to eventually get it. It looks cool. I mean, it's a cool building. I love having cool buildings on my base. I'm a big base guy. So yeah, I will want that. But Sergeant Rico was saying might actually help to make the dang factory that produce. Yep. Just read that. Yeah, that's definitely the best way to do it in my opinion. I like to see units be viable much later than see the Mercs unit nerf. Plus, like, we're the 95th Rifles. I want to keep using Riflemen since that's our signature. Haha. I don't know why I read the haha. Yep. And PG908 was saying, yeah, the only thing that I can think of is using lower tier units as ingredients for higher tier units, but that sounds terrible. We'll see how they implement that. Hey, buddy. I see ya. Sorry, I got Doggo next to me. But yeah, and Clace was saying, how long were the boss strike events back in the day? How can help me out? I need your ball knowledge here. Were they 4 or 5 days or a mix of both?
It was depending. It was 4 to 5 depending.
Okay.
On the
So chat kind of wants some engagement here, and if you could, what would be the perfect length of boss strike for y'all? And let's say that the points are adjusted to fit that boss strike. Would you have it be a week, 3 days? What are y'all thinking? And what are you thinking on that too? While we let them respond.
Honestly, my opinion would be keep it like the OG days. I would say keep it like the OG days. So.
Okay. So 5.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to make sure, my only other consideration would be make it a full week, make it 7. And the reason I say that is, there are people who don't work like typical 9 to 5s who might have to work on the weekends and, their 2 days off are elsewhere, and just want to make sure they have time to play as well. Just for those people, yeah. Just for those people who might have odd jobs and like their weekend might be a Tuesday and a Wednesday or something like that. So maybe that's something just me. Everyone has their own schedule, and I want to make sure that everyone's able to enjoy the event as much as people who, have the weekends off or might be in a situation where they're able to play a lot more. And BTJ was saying, I got the nano building for the unit needed to R6 the RPG Trooper. I freaking love that. Master Biddif was saying 4 days seems fine to me. So I'm thinking Master Biddif, I mean, if everyone had the weekends off, I'd love for it to be a Thursday through Sunday event. I think that'd be cool. 6 to 7 days, JK, Thursday to Monday. Monday seems like an odd day to end it. What do you think, Halkin?
Yeah, depending, because people are going back to work on Mondays. So.
Yeah. It's a tough last day grind there. Clace was saying 7 days. Everybody doesn't have time to just grind all the time. I understand that, Clace. I'm kind of with you on the 7 days, and agree 4 to 5. Maybe add like a pre-game lead up. Interesting. Could you expand on that, BTJ? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. I think I do, but I want to make sure we're talking about that well. But Halkin, all right, on to our next one here. We got a ton, so let's do a little bit of a speed run, and then we'll switch over to the YouTube ones. Alrighty. Get ready for my fast reading, guys. I'm going to butcher this, so here we go. Aircraft. When they add aircraft into the game as trainable units, it's going to be underwhelming. Most of the good planes will likely cost nanopods, and the ones that won't are worse than the Pelican because it was balanced all around naval. Also, they will likely be introduced after Gantos, as Silver Wolves and Rebels are the only ones with any real AA. So your Z2-18 bomber isn't going to do squat with its low damage, assuming it doesn't get shot out of the sky first. And to clarify, I'm not blaming the devs for this. Aircraft has a power creep problem. Half of the planes were made before there was really any AA attacks, whereas the main attraction was that it invalidated 90% of the units and the enemy lacked AA. It was an instant win. While all of the units made after had to bigger and flashier to get people to open their wallets. Going through this one. And the only way they can really judge if a plane should be nano or not is if the plane is balanced around the Navy, because you unlock at level 31, and you can't do it like Navy, like Naval, where everything was relegated to a side story because planes can be used everywhere. It didn't matter if an M10 could one-shot Gantus because it would never fight something that wasn't a boat. Yes, there's a mix of ground and sea battles, but those are all nano units for TKs. Interesting. So he's just basically saying aircraft might be underwhelming in how they're implemented. So to flip this, Halkin, would you be okay if aircraft were just always boss strike units? Like aircraft you can never train up? What do you think about that?
I feel like it should be variety. I feel like it should be
Mhm.
boss strike, and some of them could be promos, or some of them could be like free units, like back in the day, like boom buses, where you could train them for a certain amount of time,
Okay.
and then just have them.
Okay. Well, they can get down with that. And BTJ was saying, back to his, like, some points you can earn before the main event by donating resources and/or small ways. Points will be capped in pre-game, so you can't have a group for each past tier 3. So like a warm-up. Okay, that'd be interesting. I'm not opposed to that. It'd be something I'd want them. Maybe they do it for one and they see how it works and they go from there. All right, so getting back to it here, let's keep going. All right, oh guys, thank you. We just reached 10 likes on the video. That's a huge help. Thank you so much. I love for Perkins to actually be the lost heir to the Emperor and have that play out, dude. I'm so excited to see what they do with the campaign. That's been one of my favorite, like, that makes me the most excited about the game, is just seeing where they go with the campaign. I'm sure you feel the same about that.
Yes.
Yeah. Hurry 710 was saying, this game was designed to have occupation and raid system. It is very clear that the resources are severely lacking and the game was designed to have easier access. I hope that Madrona is actively working to shore up exploits around the older system or implementing a new player reward system immediately. Clearly, raids led to the decline of the original game, as E2 did nothing to stop people from exploiting collections. But we have seen Madrona doesn't play around with hacking. Another solution for tier 3 resources needs to be implemented. Interesting. So, would you want raids and occupations to come back the same way that they had in the old game, or would you want a redesign? I'm really putting you on the spot here, Ben.
Yeah. I would say, my honest opinion, I would say just keep it the same, because, or try to tweak it in a little bit where it's not like too broken, but also at the same time it's not underwhelming. You know, find the in between, basically, for the casuals and for the hardcore players.
Yeah, I'm kind of with him here. I'm a little bit different. I want there to be raids and occupations for sure, but I want it to be different than the old game because it just turned into an exploit factory. So that just want, just something to think about. I just don't want it to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go raid all these bases and make it all and collect gears all the time. I don't want there to be too much inflation in Battle Nations economy. But all right, Grady Shady is saying later units have a higher ranks and they can be grinded too. Later units have higher ranks and they can be grinded too, and that needs to not be a thing. All units should be capped at R6, and nanopod houses are way overpriced. Yeah, nanopod houses are probably pretty overpriced, especially the compound. Yeah, I mean, I would counter it and say maybe have other units go up to R9. But that's where I'm at with that. And we're going to push on to Alias and saying I got maybe 3. One is to make limited time nano units rotational rather than the one and done type of thing. Like FOMO is awful no matter what game. At least this way they can come back for free to play and don't feel like they're missing out as much. Interesting. I would say I would offer maybe a skin system for where the unit comes back but with a different skin or something. And so when it's a promo unit, it's only going to have that skin for that time, but it will come back in another skin. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Also, second one is to make planes more accessible, like make an airfield where we can train more of them. I don't care if they're weaker than boss strike units. I just want more planes so I can get more freely and outside of boss strikes. Yeah. I'm okay with it. They'll probably be a little bit weaker than boss strike units. They have to keep boss strike units desirable so people play more. I'm there with that. And then thirdly, I think they need to buff the free nanopods you get from leveling up. Right now, you can only get 490 nanopods, and if you never spent any, which isn't a lot considering more nanopod buildings are over 100, and the higher tier nano costs over 50, or at least another way to get nanopods like weekly infected or something. Yeah, they'll implement another way to get free nanopods. I'm not sure how you feel about that, but I have a pretty high level of confidence that they'll be doing something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, for me, honestly, I want to, because I used to be a free to play back in the OG days. I, tie down money always. I was a free to play myself, so I understand the struggles what people go through. And you you want a certain unit, but maybe you just have to cut your losses and just skip out on the unit because maybe you don't have said nanopods to buy the said unit. So I was like, I hope they manage to keep the free to plays happy, because at the end of the day, we're trying to grow a community. We don't want this game to die out like it did the years back. We want everybody to feel welcomed, loved, and respected. Not just to be like, oh, it's only catered to the whales. We don't. I want everybody to feel loved and cared for. Just like everybody.
Just making sure it's accessible. Yeah, I like that. All right, here's another thing, kind of the same deal as Nanopod should increase more than 10 after level 19, make it 20s, 20 nanopods, and 30s, 30 nanopods, and so forth. Yep, I think that's going on the same complaint of or take that there should be more ways to get nanopods, which I think they will do. There should be a building like the refinement facility to spend 18 hours turning steel, wood, oil, etc. to make bars, gears, skulls, teeth. As you said before, that doesn't make sense, but it's BN, none of it makes sense. Well, I agree with the latter statement, but I'm going to be hated for this one. I don't think that should be a thing. But, it's BN. It doesn't have to make sense. I'm not a developer, so, that's not my cup of tea there, but we'll see. Any thoughts to that real quick, Halkin?
There is a way, but it's in the town hall. I don't remember, but in the town hall, when Prestige was out, you're able to change a few things, get a few things in there, but it will cost you, of course, stuff. So. Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna change it or keep it as the OG days, but there is something there, but you just have to basically you have to weigh out your is it worth, for example, let's just say if they change it to stars, or is it worth 5 stars to get five gears? Is it really worth it?
Yeah, definitely interesting. Alrighty, the Battle Nations outlaws need to be outlawed. Sounds like there might be some beef there or something along those lines.
Guild drama.
Guild drama, yeah. And hey, we'll talk about guild drama here. Try and shoot you down the middle. But anyway, Sergeant Rico is saying units shouldn't cost nanopods. Period. This is the hottest take of the night. Those nano units frequently tend to outperform regular units and ruin any sense of competitive gameplay and balance. Try to imagine a lower level free-to-play player stepping into PvP session with a whale who purchased a bunch of TF2 heavies and demo men. It's going to be a slaughter no matter what units or formations the free-to-play player prepares. And it's not even touching all the late power creep which D2 started introducing later on. And furthermore, why do any of the unit abilities frequently cost nanopods to unlock? Stuff like the Grenadier Stun Grenade and Riot Trooper Shield Bash are useful, and again impacts players' a balance too. What's up, BN Imp? How you doing? Stuff like the Grenadier Stun Grenades and Riot Troopers Shield Bash are useful, and again impacts gameplay balance to have them locked behind paywalls. Instead, nanopods should be focused on base construction or cosmetic aspects of the game, like it already is. Want a fancy looking house? Pay up with nanopods. Want an effective resource production building? Build it with nanopods. Speeding up production? Nanopods. That's the way. It's at best just a time gate with minimal impact on gameplay balance. So that was a lot. I agree with the second that if it is I don't think that attacks should cost nanopods to unlock. I think that's seems a little shady. I do think there should be nanopod units. I'm going to disagree with you there. The game definitely needs that revenue income. And I'm the Madrona shill as we previously talked about. So I do want there to be nano units. I want there to be incentives to buy in the game. Something I'm pretty adamant about. But it's got to be a balance. There are PvP points, so every unit has a PvP point assigned to them, even at different levels. So you're never going to get in a PvP situation, or you put it in the last game where you're going to play somebody who's way overpowered. That's just not going to happen. But it is, they did kind of think of ways to get to that, but with the arena challenge later in the end game of Battle Nations, that did disappear. But that's where I stand. Halkin, do you think there should be no nanopod units?
I feel like there should, because that's the way they're gonna make most of their money, or at least almost all of their money, because that's where they're gonna be coming up. And also, I'm not sure if you saw my video of suggestions for skins,
Yep.
which
I love that.
would cater. So I was thinking maybe they could bring skins. I don't know if it would be like in the near future of it, but bringing skins, for example, like
Yeah.
for the free to play players. Oh, you're celebrating the 1 year anniversary
Mhm.
from Battle Nations. Because
Yep.
a game, multiple mobile games that I used to play used to celebrate the 1 year anniversary by giving you like, for example, like a ribbon or a
Mm.
border, like to celebrate the first year anniversary, or just a skin, just to let people know that you've been playing the game for a year.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that they should have anniversaries. I am so excited for Battle Nations 1 year anniversary. That's gonna be a ton of fun. Um, but yeah, it kind of going on to that. Legal Grave Robber saying honestly, people need to chill out and let Madrona cook. I've seen plenty of complaints and thinly veiled suggestions that cover nearly every aspect of the game from the Z2 days to present. Madrona has already made it clear what their roadmap looks like in terms of priorities, and they've already have plans to change things eventually. Feel free to show my username, and thank you for covering these sorts of things. Well, thank you, Legal Grave Robber. What a name. I agree. I'm in the camp of let's just let Madrona cook here. I love it. I want Madrona to cook, and in Madrona we trust. But Halkin, are you a certified Madrona hater?
No, I
Alright.
love Madrona.
Alright,
I am
cool.
very happy that they brought this game back. This is basically my childhood game.
I know. I think it is a lot, and I know. Actually, chat. I'm going to do a poll real quick, so let me get that set up real quick. Also, we are going to be. I'll put a post about it. We are going to be taking applications for mods for Battle Nations Radio. I'm definitely not like big or anything like that, but just as a way to help with help with the congruity of the stream and like if I need to stop and do polls. So if there's any interest in that, that's great. And if not, no worries. I completely understand. Appa. Sorry, my dog is going through all my cords right now. Hey, buddy, go. Your bone is right there. I just took you on a walk. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Let me. All right. Well, I think we're gonna miss the poll. We have Doggo with me. He might creep up here, but he just wants some pets. Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
And Imp is saying, great, I've been super busy, as I imagine most of us are right now, seeing if I might be able to join the stream podcast. How are you doing, JTTV? Halkin, can you invite Emperor to this VC?
How do you do that? Because they haven't.
All right. There's a add friends to DM. You should be able to just set up a group chat with us and yeah, just set up a group chat with us and make a call there if you could. Sorry, I got a dog trying to play with me.
Oh, Trim, I sent you a friend request.
Yeah, I saw that. All right. I gotta get back to it here. Sorry about that, guys. Wimps feel bad to use and should cost more to heal at R6. The grind sucks. They siphon SP away from other units, and in the end reward is the unit that is maxed out, and even if you use it, it continues to drain SP. I like to see them rebalance to have a stronger, maybe even given a new rank above R6 so you can use SP, but at the same time have the healing cost drastically increase. Hottest take, cost vials. That is the hottest take. So they aren't meta to spam. Slightly less spicy, but still hot take. TF2 units are incredibly unbalanced, and that take the fun out of the games. Most could all be changed a little bit to fix without massive nerfs. For example, the Soldier's Rocket should deal direct attack rather than indirect, as it invalidates all the early game artillery, and it doesn't even make sense to be indirect. No, we'll get you here. And I can see that. I honestly kind of agree with the second one a little bit more. Does your guild have any requirements? Yeah, Clays, what I'm going to do right now, because I know I told you this last time, do you have Discord? I'm going to actually do everyone a favor here, and guys, I know I'm pinging all over the place, and Imp, I will get you in, so no worries there. So first thing that I'm going to do is... Imp, if you can start a call with me and Halkin, that'd be great. I would love to have you in here, man. I just downloaded it. All right, so Clays, I would love to add you as a friend. And my how do I get my damn? Sorry, guys. this is why I'm asking for a mod, because I am having trouble doing this. But guys, no, let me go to my phone real quick. Sorry, I have been telling Clay I want to get this information. My Discord name is going to be, and let me go ahead and put it in here, is going to be Terminator 00988. All right, guys, sorry about that. Getting back to the hot takes here. There you go. I don't think whip healing would change anything. You just train up more for the 1,000 gold. And even if you made it the cost go up after R6, people would just train their 1,000 wins before promoting. TBH, I say SP needs a rework. Any excess should go to other units. Said, ooh, that's definitely a spicy tank. Soldiers basically alleviate early levels, not make it easy. If anything, it would particularly slow down level players if the soldier gets nerfed. LOL coming into a hot take thread and downvoting people. Yeah. An easy solution for Wimps draining XP from other units to simply prevent them from acquiring SP once maxed out and apply it to other units. Yeah, that's been the one that I've seen recommended the most. And that's the one I can kind of get behind the most. I really do want to kind of not drastically change everything. I think Z2 did have a good foundation, especially with the SP. I think the SP is very popular. But do you think they should rework SP at all, Halkin?
I would say yes, but like yes and no. But I feel like mostly yes, because there's some units that the grind is like, for example, let's just say the plasma tanks and the artilleries. You know, it takes over set SP to get them, and some people get demotivated really for not seeing the little bar go forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Alright, I need to accept your friend request here. 1 second, I'll get you. Are we friends?
Yes.
I have apparently a gazillion friend requests on Discord. Guys, sorry, I should have been doing this offline. This is a bad look on my part. You said we are friends.
You're good.
Alrighty. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Alright, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. Yep. I did add you. My name is Base Bong. Let me go ahead and get you added here too, guys. Sorry, I want to keep this going here. I think that's you. Alright, I think I just added you. Perfect. Alright. Good to go. Sorry about that, guys. Alrighty, next one is early game nanopod units should scale better to late game. I've seen that suggested a lot. I think they, not my favorite idea. But, it's definitely a take. Halkin, Emperor, how y'all feeling on that one?
I'm gonna be honest, man. So I hate to start off. First off, thank you for having me, Hobby. I know I'm joining in late here. Sorry, it's been a crazy week. Hope you guys are doing well today. Had a pretty good day myself. Just nice. Again, just a whiplash from everything that's been going on, from a semester wrapping up to end of year to Thanksgiving's right around the corner, and then after that it's Christmas, baby, the grand finale.
Yes,
but doing good. Absolutely. So starting off with a hot take, unfortunately, and that is, I think I love where this idea is coming from, because we want people to be able to spend their nanopods early on cool-looking units. Unfortunately, the trade-off is you have to accept that those units will eventually become, obsolete. So you either save your nanopods for something like level 40 when you're able to get high capacity storage vaults, because I know a lot of people who will literally go through the grind, wait till they get level 40, and then spend their, nanopods on only in-game stuff, so that way, they know their nanopod purchases are forever useful. For example, some people only spend their nanos on M10s. Again, they want to make sure when they spend them, they know they're going to unit that's not going to be good for a while, it's going to be good forever. So while I understand the concept, I think it's more of a trade-off. Do you want to be able to breeze through the game, get early? Okay, spend some nanos on some heavies. You spend 100 nanos on 3 heavies? Okay, well, those heavies are going to carry you through like the entire early game, But they'll stay competitive for a while. And heck, I'd even argue right now heavies aren't the worst unit in the world. But they're not going to hold their own against a super tank or, like another in-game nanopod unit, because they're not supposed to. So I love where the idea is coming from, but for me, I kind of like where the game's at right now.
Yeah.
On this aspect.
Halkin, same deal.
Yeah, but I'm at it to to what Emperor said. I would feel like overall it's just depending on. Let's just say, for example, we're level 49s and somebody's barely beginning in the game and he's level 10 and he looks at these units. He's not gonna be thinking like, oh, what is, and he doesn't look up YouTube video. Let's just say, for example, he doesn't look up YouTube or anything. He's just like, oh, I'm going in here blind. Let's see what units are good. Oh, I like this unit because it looks good and it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna spend my nanos not knowing that that there's a meta. At the end of the day, there's multiple ways to play the game. You could buy the said meta units, or you could just have fun and play the game how you want.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. That's where I stand on it too. Is kind of just I meta early game, but eventually the units are just not going to be as competitive. But guys, moving on here quickly, we have the tier 2 resource buildings. Concrete plants, steel mill, lumber mill should function continuously while running. Instead of producing in batches that are initiated and collected like shops, they aren't shops. It's annoying to waste resource production when a batch is waiting to be collected, but you can't be on the game. So I think there's a little give and take there, right? Because there's a max amount of iron you can produce, but I have 2 steel factories, one advanced, one regular. I literally cannot produce enough iron to keep all running simultaneously. What do y'all think about that?
I'd like to. I went first last time. I'd like to let Hawk go first here, and then I can give, because I might have another hot take here.
Okay.
Honestly, I agree. But depending on, like, for example, for me, I have 3 advanced steel mills, and there's sometimes that I do run out of iron, but sometimes because I go grinding, and you guys already know how I am, because people are pretty much already set my reputation as the hardcore grinder. Somebody just consistently plays this game, so.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, yes, I kind of do see it. It doesn't matter. You could have 2 steel mills or you could have regular steel mills. You're still going to be running into, trying to keep up with the demand.
Yeah. And Imp, off to you here.
Yeah, unfortunately, so I agree with the idea, and I think, if agreed by the community, I think it would be a good concept. I would just really like a consensus on this, because my only fear is this. For people like you, the hard grinders, or every other hard grinder out there, it seems like a quality of life thing, but also I would argue that's part of the thrill. I can't tell you how many times I've set a 3-hour on my steel mill thinking, okay, I'll be back in 3 hours. I pass out, I sleep for 12 hours straight, I get back on, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have had so much more steel if I just realized I was going to be off for 12 hours, passed out, right? So I think it's, you have to play those things out. You got to be smart with it. If you fail, you fail. So, like, if I could just, throw 4 3 hours, back to back to back, it wouldn't matter if, I'm there every 3-hour cycle or not, So I would be if the majority of the community is ready for it, but if grinders like you or other grinders would say, it's part of the process, I'd be cool with keeping it as is.
Yeah, I'm with keeping it as is too. And guys, finishing out here with the Reddit hot takes. Howlin' Fire saying no unit should be nerfed for boss strike and campaign, only for PvP. We did see this one earlier. If anything, they should be buffed, and if possible, make other nanopod units non-nano. I'm kind of withholding judgment on this whole buffing, nerfing, yada 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 conversation. I'm kind of just like, surprise me, Madrona. You make the decisions here, and if it's not working, patch it. But I think everything's working as is right now, so I'm not terribly worried. What do y'all think?
So I believe it's good in theory. My only fear is you have to understand, Madrona has done such a perfect job at bringing this game back to a T.
Yeah.
I am really scared once we start bringing some actual changes in here, people might not like it, and especially something as serious as Valorant changes. That's going to completely shift the meta. I just hope it's done small. I hope it's done in increments to the point, where we can, give feedback, criticism, praise to what we like, and, do it in a slower manner. So I wouldn't want it all out at once. I think that just increases the likelihood that it might be messed up and upsets, a big portion of the community. So I'm in favor of it to the extent that we make sure we do it slow, with the understanding that, people have grown up with these units for 10 years, don't even know exactly what they do. When you change them, it's going to upset some people. So just try to do it as slowly and, rationally as possible.
Heard. Alrighty. Well, guys, I appreciate that. We got a couple more hot takes I want to go over. These were from YouTube submissions, so let me go ahead and get the screen ready. Chat, I hope you're still there. Give me a thumbs up. Just let me know. Chat's been a little bit dead. I see y'all probably listening while you're doing some laundry or stuff like that. I'm a big YouTube while I'm eating kind of guy, so if you are, no worries. I know you might have some Cheeto hands right now, so no worries about that. But let's go over to the YouTube channel, guys. Let's go ahead and hit that like button. Apple, what are you doing? Sorry, my dog is all over the place right now. Hi, buddy. I see ya. But you need to get out of there. Guys, if you have Appa, I am so sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. He is all mixed in with my cords. Come here. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, fuck. Can y'all see me?
I can't see you on the. I can see you on the live feed on the YouTube feed. Just not on Discord, but yeah.
All right.
Still see you on
Okay,
YouTube
now.
feed.
Perfect. Sorry, dog is going crazy. He wants dinner. All right, so we will we'll get through this here. So I submitted this out on the YouTube channel, guys. By the way, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and go check out my latest video. Just a quick Dreadnought fight. It was fun to do with some free-to-play guide tips, but enough with the self-promotion here. Let's go back and take a look at the hot takes. We have some comments here. And Schmabo, #1, and he said it before and he'll say it again. I think mission bosses should have a guaranteed drop chance for fragments. And what do y'all think about this? I have some takes on this.
Ooh, and just to clarify, it's saying that the mission bosses should have a guaranteed drop?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gotta be definitive on this one. No, I'm completely against that, only because it ruins people who have like hunted. Imagine AP getting his first ironclad and then they update it to where like every first ironclad mission gave you an ironclad, you know?
But would you get another one?
Ooh, I don't think they would, because remember when they updated the beta and they made it where they added nanos to level up? They had to reset some people's account just so they could go back and do the levels up and get the nanopods. So I think it would just be an unfortunate situation where, you'd have to just accept that, all new players are going to get to do that mission and get a free, fragment, ironclad, or tentacle, where you didn't.
Mm-hmm. And Hauken, over to you.
I'm gonna say the same thing with Emperor. I feel like it should just, because you want a fragment to feel you want that satisfaction. You want like, oh wow, I finally got it. You want that wow factor basically to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I think that'd be nice for the missions. You just get one automatically, and then it's chance the rest of the way. So yeah, we'll agree to disagree. We'll see what they do with that. I don't think that happens. Focus, since I'm doing dishes, I love listening to YouTube while doing dishes too. I hear you, so I appreciate you tuning into this one here. But guys, flipping over onto the next one, Schmabo, thank you so much for that submission here. We got Jeff Bezos. I got an ironclad before BNAP on his birthday. Ooh, that's a tough one, but Jeff Bezos, nonetheless, congratulations, man. I hope running Amazon is going well. No, but all right. Spudboy said, my hottest take is that the elemental troopers should cost resources instead of nanopods. And let's go ahead and click read more here. This take comes from a variety of sources. The notorious AS that everyone is talking about for the most notable one. Some calculations have been done, and the elemental trooper has enough resistance to last upwards of 40 plus turns against it, making the AS much more viable for free-to-play players. It also adds an exceptional unit to any roster, free-to-play or pay-to-play, as it boosts amazing support capabilities with its ice pistols and dish out damage with its fire. With its flame, Madrona has shown willingness to convert nano units as seen by the discussion of the medium tank. I'll admit that the ET is kind of an anomaly in this sense, but I think it would be a solid addition to the game. What do y'all think?
I went first last time. Hawk, would you like to take the honors? I can go first. I just don't want to, be the first one.
No, you're good. You're good. Honestly, from back in the OG days, the Elemental Trooper was one of the best. It's still at rank 70. It was still classified as an SS tier unit because it had such high resistance. No matter what formation you had, it was still viable. You could use your freeze attack to freeze basically a whole area. And for examples, it would pair very well with the mammoths, because once you freeze them and use the mammoth stun, it would automatically wipe half of the fleet already in boss strike. So they're really viable.
Yeah.
But would I say cost resources? I would say I feel like it should stay a nano unit. I get it that people want that, but it's a really good unit. So, or if not, maybe nerf it, do it like a little bit game change to it, so
Okay.
it makes it really viable for free and spenders.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna wait to share my thoughts, but Imp, over to you.
Absolutely. So I'm kind of with Hawk on this one, to the extent of I do want to clarify what I would say is a good change. Something like the medium tank, I think, needs to be like the prime example, because even the medium tank was kind of controversial, but it makes total sense. I mean, it does not compare to the super tank, which is only a little bit further. Everybody would buy a super over a medium tank in a heartbeat. And I think, if you're going to make a unit from nano to non-nano, you have to justify it with overwhelming evidence. I feel this guy is great as a nano unit. He's super good. I think he's super viable where he's at. If you made him cost resources, you'd have to nerf him, which I think ruins him. So I'd say keep him where he's at and keep him as strong as he is.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm against change. Maybe this is bad, but like, yeah, not entirely there. I kind of want to wait and see almost. I don't know. I guess like I'm a little hesitant, and I think that the way that they're going to do it is they're going to get out level 70 and then do that. I think it could happen, or make sure that there are viable options to beat the Ancient Sentinel, still making it very hard, but I don't want them to essentially nerf the Ancient Sentinel. But alrighty. We got 3 more. I do want to flip over to CW down here, which is the pity system for boss drops should never be added to the game. It would make getting drops far less special. Sorry if you have bad luck. Basically saying sucks to suck. But yeah, we touched on this. I think y'all are both pro anti-pity system. You could just say anti-pity system. And I think it'd be cool on the missions, but yeah, I'd be anti-pity system too. Does that kind of sum us up here?
Absolutely. And again, I just want to clarify my point. I completely understand the concept of a pity system. That's like somebody for AP, right? Because AP is like, I would say, one of the most committed players in all of the Battle Nation community. He's a great guy.
He ain't got nothing on me. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, he's a great guy, and like, dude, it's just his luck for whatever reason he can't get the best naval unit in the game, unfortunately, right? So a pity system for somebody like that, you're like, absolutely. It's just again, my thing is, I want those things to be special. If you get, a fragment, a tentacle, or a clad, I want it to be a freak out celebration, right? Like it currently is. So if you added a pity system, it would be more of a grind system. I'll say this: there should be. I don't know why I have I've heard this, but haven't heard it on a podcast or anything, so I'd love to say it right here on the radio, maybe have it be the first one said here. I think it would be cool for, let's say we could do the experiment with the AC, right? We keep him as he is. He has a 5% chance to do his Dexter, 1% chance to do Sinister. And let's say you go through a certain amount of battles and just get no fragment. Let's say 25 battles, right? You should have gotten one by now. 25 AC battles, and that's going insane, right? But 25 AC battles, no drops, you get what's called the pity fragment. And the pity fragment is just like the Sinister Dexter fragment, exact same stats as both of them, and it looks just like them, except it's called the pity fragment. It could go alongside the Sinister and Dexter. That way, if somebody sees you with it, they know, oh man, this person had to fight the AC 25 times in a row to get this bad boy. They have some bad luck. But then it could become a sign of good luck, because what if you want the pity frag? What if he becomes a trophy? So, I just think that'd be a cool little system to throw in there.
Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about that either way. I need to take some time to digest that one. How can you feeling any type of way about that?
No, that's a new take. That's a pretty cool take.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. That would be so devious. Yeah, that'd be something. Falcon, I'm going to end with yours here, but let's go to Ricardo first. Here's a few. Ooh, we got a little read more action on this as well. The Wimp is the least free-to-play friendly free-to-play friendly unit. The grind just makes them vaguely usable and insanely tedious and expensive. It's simultaneously egregiously overpowered and distinctively underwhelming. It has modest bulk and hard-hitting crushing attacks, but it costs effectively nothing to train and heal, making it nigh for infinitely spammable. Well, there is the cap, so we'll take this one at a time. I think the Wimp's fine. I really don't want the Wimp to be touched. It's good, but trust me, later in the game, it's not going to be as good. It's spammable for boss strike. I need my Wimps for boss strike. Any objections there, y'all?
I mean, I'll die on this hill, dude. Please don't touch the Wimps. That's like, not even, this isn't even, this goes besides balance changing. This is like a culture feature of the game, like a cornerstone.
Yeah.
Don't touch that bad boy. I love them.
Yeah.
I'm on the same boat. Please don't touch my Wimps. Please.
Work too hard for them.
Yeah.
It's like, we suffered a line in the trenches. Come on, guys. Please, don't touch them. We suffered a line in the trenches.
They
Please.
should cap the Wimp to 2. Interesting. Alrighty. Here we go. Rangers aren't bad units. They're just outclassed by recons and battle raptors. A ranked ranger is a double happy menace. If they touch Wimps, it would not end well at all. Yeah. There would be chaos. I mean, I think the Ranger is a super cool looking unit, and it's fun to use in like that mid-20s. I think the Battle Raptor is better, especially like when you infected the Battle Raptor. So Ricardo, based on what you're talking about in the game, I completely understand, and it is a dodge happy menace. Yeah, it kind of falls into that. It's like a lesser commando or veteran, very high dodge. So yeah, it is good if you rank it up too. But here we go. The portable wall is way better than people give it credit for. Immunity to poison DOT is a colossal HP pool to make it great against sandworms, chem rebels. Effectively shuts down dustwalkers when placed in the back. Yeah, I think the portable wall is great. I got them at R6 and I got a good amount of them. So excited to show them off during boss strike too. And we will be doing some live boss strike. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. And then, despite its low damage, the Tempest is remarkably viable as a suppression spreader or as crowd control until Rioter missions. Yeah, we love the Tempest. There is some Tempest diehards in my guild, so that is super fun. And then he says, I think short jobs should fill demand more effectively than long jobs to reward players for keeping a healthy relationship with the game. I don't know if you want to fill demand. I'm not too well versed on the demand system, to be perfectly frank. Emperor has a really good video about demand and explaining that, so make sure to go check out his channel, guys. I am kind of speed running these real quick because I do have to take off here pretty soon. And then the last one here from Ricardo is saying the Aces 650cc is one of the best mid-tier units and can even hold up its niche high defense dodge blast cannon at high levels if appropriately ranked. It can even offer support using tear gas shells. I have the Aces at rank 3. I like it a lot. I think it's a super fun unit. It looks great. But yeah, no, super cool unit. But guys, last but not least here, he is going to do a live reaction to his own Battle Nations hot take. That is Hauken. He says SP and Gold weekend location open for farming, like Bigfoot Country. When you click Bigfoot Country, it says 2 times SP and 2 times gold for the weekend. You want to take it away, Hauken? Go ahead.
Oh, so what I meant by this is like, so I could promote people to get on, on the weekends. Like, oh, there's this certain area. Like, for example, Mammoths give 2 times SP and 2 times gold, or Rebels. Or, for example, if we get later in the future where we start getting Rebels and Sir Wolves in our spawn and our base and everything, I was like, oh, this weekend Sir Wolves drop more SP and more gold, or so and so drops more gold and SP, basically.
Yeah, I love that. I love double SP weekends. Like, I don't know if they ever did double gold weekends, but we'll see how gold plays a factor. I'm not sure gold's that important. I mean, I'm sure you have a gazillion gold right now, but I guess for newer players, yeah. What do you have right now? What's your count?
No comment, please.
No comment. Nice. Emperor, to you, what do you think here?
I love this concept. It kind of reminds me of, I don't think they had a double gold or anything, but yeah, of course, double SP, double XP, and also they did have skull events, so like double, triple skull events. Raiders now drop double, triple skulls, or double, triple teeth on animals. So yeah, I just see it as kind of an extension of that. I would love, double, gold SP weekends for boars, raptors, or like you said, a one particular class, and you could hunt in that particular area, or if it's for something like raiders, you can then hunt raiders or a particular animal, whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm right there with y'all. I love weekend events. I think weekend events need to make a comeback in Battle Nations. That'd be so much fun when it gets bigger. It gives the devs something to post on Instagram. Just have it be back. But guys, as you can tell, I got an obligation at 7 o'clock tonight. But seriously, Halkin and thank you so much for joining me tonight, guys. Make sure to go check out their channels and go hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get Halkin to 30 tonight. Halkin, what's your subscriber count at?
Let me see. We're at 27. Hobby.
All right, so we got you some, guys. Make sure to go subscribe to Halkin. Make sure to go subscribe to Emperor. Please hit that subscribe button to me, and make sure to go show that last video that I did some love. Need some love. But guys, this awesome. Thank you, Digital Soju. Thank you. I hope you have a good night too. But yeah, guys. Oh, BNA. I love BNA. That's awesome, man. But yeah, everyone, I hope you have a good night. I will see y'all next week. Hoping, fingers crossed, for an update this weekend. I looked like I was flipping y'all off there. I wasn't. Sorry about that. But fingers crossed for next week, or this weekend. Hopefully we'll have an update. And if we will be making some content about that. But guys, for that, it's been another episode of Battle Nations Radio. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good rest of your week. See you next week.